All right. Hey, guys.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
We're safe.
We have to be. Like, that's the thing. Like, I would feel terrible saying anything other than, I'm good.
No, we are.
I'm good. Life is good.
Life is good.
Like, very lucky, very fortunate people.
We are.
Especially you, like, insanely fortunate.
Yeah.
Driving up here was so insane.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Nashville got hit this week with a big major tornado that came through and I think spanned over 50 miles long, going through Nashville, my hometown of Mount Juliet, and going all the way up to Cookeville. So, yeah, it was a big disaster through here. And we just wanted to get on here before the episode starts to talk a little bit about what's happened and how we're raising some money to go towards the relief fund.
Yeah. It's a very scary experience. Like, I mean, we've both lived here our whole lives. And I mean, I've lived through tornado warnings 1,000 times. It was definitely an interesting experience and very scary experience to know how devastating it was. I think this is probably the deadliest tornadoes that we've had come through. And the last of the biggest in a long time. I remember
1998.
Yeah, and I remember the tornadoes from 1998.
I was in Antioch at that time.
Antioch, what?
Which we were safe in Antioch, luckily.
Yes,
kind of missed us and went through Hermitage.
It went through basically the same paths as these tornadoes did. But it was it makes you feel very fortunate, very lucky, and very blessed for sure.
Yeah.
First of all, the storms started to hit Nashville like around midnight. The tornadoes hit like around 1:00 in the morning. And that's when people are so vulnerable. People are sleeping, people aren't thinking about it. No one really mentioned that day that I knew we were supposed to have storms come through, but no, and obviously you can't predict tornadoes. It's not like hurricanes or some of the other natural disasters. Like, you can't predict them. But we just knew we were supposed to have storms come through, and waking up, at 4, in the morning, like I usually do, and seeing a bunch of text messages and things like that. It was insane. I'm incredibly fortunate. I live south of Nashville, and we had nothing. We had no damage, no anything, no downed anything. But you live right here in Mount Juliet, and like I said, driving up to your house you were like literally,
it's half a mile, like
the
half
exit.
a mile.
Yeah. It's insane, like the difference just driving half a mile, like from the interstate to your house is.
Yeah, it was a scary night. We got an alert around 1 a.m. The emergency alert on our phones went off, and I immediately turned the TV on. We lost power within like 2 minutes of the TV being on. Got on my phone, Facebook was still working, and got on the live stream for the news channel, and basically they were just telling us to take cover. It was like right on top of us. So we hid under the stairs at our house, and luckily we have a really good spot to go to. And yeah, it was on us within 10 minutes of us waking up. So I'm so fortunate that those iPhone and phone alarms alert system went off. I know we talked about this earlier, but probably a smart idea to have them on if you don't already. And I know they're annoying because we get a lot of flash flood warnings for us.
We get tornado warnings. This is the thing is when you live here, you get very jaded towards it. Like, tornado
severe
warnings happen
thunderstorms
all the time.
Well, not I think tornado watches probably happen a lot more often.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I never take cover. Like, unless if Tyler's at my house, I do. Like, I'm very good about that. I want him to.
You should take cover.
I know. I will from now on.
Yeah, I bet you will.
I turned my weather alerts on because it's scary, and I couldn't imagine like actually having to kind of live through that. And even then, even you had to live through it to an extent. Like, you were without power most of the next day. You still have to deal with the remnants of it. Like, you've like trying to get anywhere in town right now. I mean, it took me half an hour to get a mile down the road to get up here. So it's chaotic. But you and I, we said this like when I walked up. I'm like, we're here.
We're
like,
here.
We have homes.
Exactly. I have a job. I mean, it hit right by our hospital as well. I mean, right by the hospital, and fortunately didn't hit the hospital. But yeah, I'm thankful I have a job and a home, and that's
Mm-hmm.
all I can be thankful for right now. And I'm so sorry for the people that lost their homes and those that lost their lives. We lost a patient of ours in Mount Juliet, and that's incredibly sad that we just saw on Monday. So yeah, this storm definitely hit home for me, literally. My middle school that I went to is completely destroyed. And I'm very thankful that it hit in the middle of the night and kids weren't at the school, because
Very
I think
true.
the death toll will definitely be higher, just from the damage that it did.
Yeah. At this point, the death toll is 25 people.
Yeah.
I think 5 of them were under the age of 13, which is just so heartbreaking
Hmm.
to hear. But again, I mean, it came in the middle of the night, when people were most vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, and I
definitely.
think the thing too is like the tornado was getting faster and faster and faster, and by the time it hit that Cookeville area, they just like were not prepared for it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's just incredibly sad. But, we thought that we would come together with the Nashville Watch Club and try to start a donation fund, a GoFundMe, that we could raise some money to donate. And that's going to be donated to the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. And they have activated the Tennessee Emergency Response Fund. And that basically gets spread out to different people that are in need. So, that fund gets spread along a lot of other things that are needed
Mhm.
right now, whether that's food, housing, things like that.
There's
So,
a lot of need for sure. When you
yeah,
look at pictures of downtown Nashville, some of the areas, North Nashville, East Nashville, Germantown,
yeah,
um,
some of the places
it
we
looks
love to
like
go to,
a
yeah,
it
it's
looks like a
gone.
war zone. I mean,
Hmm.
I couldn't imagine just losing everything like that, and even some of the places out here. But yeah, there's a lot of need out there. There really is. So we started this GoFundMe with the Nashville Watch Club. I'll put a link in our show notes. But we're just trying to raise as much as we can, basically,
Hmm.
just to support the community. If you guys feel if you feel touched to do it, please consider donating. There, like I said, there's just so much need. Over 400 homes were totally demolished, over 200 businesses. I mean, damage well
Hmm.
exceeding hundreds and hundreds of
Oh,
millions of
yeah.
dollars. So there's a lot of help that's needed. So please, if you feel like you would like to, please consider donating. You can follow the link on our website. If you go to the 10 and 2 Instagram page, the Nashville Watch Club Instagram page, either mine or Kat's Instagram page, we all have the links
Hmm.
on our profiles as well. But yeah, there's a lot of need out there for sure. And it just was so important to us to try and do something for the city where, I mean, we were both from here.
And we're very
Um,
proud to be from here. We're very proud of our city. And,
mhm.
I think it's been really humbling to see how many people have come together after this and
Agreed.
are supporting each other. So, yeah, we feel like the Watch fam is a strong fam, and we want to ask for your help.
Yeah, for sure. And that, like you said, seeing people come together. This isn't the first time Nashville's gone through,
No.
tragedy. We had the floods, 2010,
Hmm.
the flooding that wiped out so much in downtown Nashville. We had the tornadoes back in '98. So, I hate to see that it takes something like this to bring the best out in people, but the best does come out of people
Yeah.
and stuff like this. And you see a lot of people putting aside differences, and putting aside differences on everything, race,
Yeah.
politics,
Everything.
income levels, things like that, and really seeing the community come together. And that's what makes me so happy about this city
Yeah.
and this state being called the volunteer state, and then seeing that people are still have that spirit. People still
Yeah.
volunteer. People still help out.
Yeah.
So,
It's really sweet.
but definitely very fortunate for sure. The
Yeah.
two of us are.
Absolutely.
So, we just wanted to get on here before this amazing interview with
Hmm.
Jenni Elle.
And quick thank you to everyone that reached out to us in the last few
Yes.
days, just making sure we were okay. We tried to get on Instagram and Facebook and post that we were, but I know that we had several people even email us just checking in, and you guys are very sweet, and
And
yeah,
we
we're
do
totally fine.
totally
Yeah,
appreciate that for sure. It was very humbling actually to see so many people so concerned who've never
yeah.
met us
My mom
before.
didn't even text me until like, man, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. She's in Hendersonville, so she was
Yeah.
way out of the way, and they had no warnings or anything like that, so they slept through the night. And she woke up and immediately heard about the news, and she was calling me and texting me like crazy just to make sure we were okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, again, just like scary. This whole week's been weird. I've been out of work a lot of it. Just the hospital was closed, and talking to a lot of my patients that had been hit and stuff. It's hard. It's really tough, and yeah, I think we'll all move past this, and we'll become better and stronger and move on. But yeah, right now Nashville needs a lot of help. It needs a lot of help. So do what you can if you can. That's all we ask.
For sure.
$5 helps. $2 helps.
Yeah, $5 fee. I saw $5 fees like 40 people. So, I mean, that's the thing. So you have that many people lost homes. That's not including apartments that are damaged. There's so many apartment structures in downtown Nashville right now that are totaled, and people had 5 minutes to go in and get their things because they're not safe to be in. So there's hundreds and thousands of people who are displaced right now without home, without, consistent food supply and things like that. So anything helps for sure. Absolutely. And I know we complain about first world problems and things like that, but the fact that, you and I are sitting here inside a home with all four walls, we have electricity, things like that. Like, it's stuff like this really kind of reminds you how
into
lucky you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking about this week, as I was like getting show notes and stuff ready for the show, that, when this happened, watches were the last freaking thing on my mind. Like, get my dogs, get my husband, and get in the closet. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And, just don't forget that. These are just things. We have a show that we talk about these little small things that we wear on our wrists, but at the end of the day, they're just things. And
exactly
what's important are the people and things, animals in your life, because I'm a big animal person. So my dogs were definitely probably more protected than I was in that closet, but it's fine.
Were they in the far side of the closet, and you and Jonathan were just kind of out on the edge?
Yeah, they definitely were. They're my babies.
Priorities. But no, we definitely 100%. We can't thank you guys enough for like the support and the love that you guys have shown us and the community. We've had quite a few donations from all over the U.S. and the world at this point, and we definitely appreciate it more than we could ever fully express. Absolutely. And the city of Nashville definitely appreciates it. So thank you guys. Thank you.
All right.
And
enjoy the show. This is a good one today.
Yeah. This one was recorded before coronavirus shut down Basel World. So there's that whole disclaimer. Let's add a disclaimer in there that this one was recorded pre-Basel World shutdown. So but it's still relevant.
It's still absolutely relevant.
I watch it. People will still be putting watches out. So our little predictions will be fun. Yeah. But this was fun. I loved talking to Jenni. She has to be one of the most fun people to talk to. Like, she's so amazing and so lighthearted and playful. And I love our group chat that we have. Like, she's just fun and cool as hell.
She is. She's really sweet. And I'm glad that we got to talk to her, and we've kind of made friends with her now. And it's fun to have another female. But there's not many of us out here, so we're excited, and we may even get to meet her when we go to the UK and Scotland. So that's even more exciting. So meet all our besties.
Everybody. Poor Jonathan. It's just gonna bless his heart.
He'll be all right. He'll be third wheeling it. It's okay.
He'll be hanging out with everybody's wives in the corner while all of us watch nerds are doing our thing.
Yeah. Now he may take some like little side trips on his own while we're doing watch stuff, but no, we'll have a good time for sure.
All right. Well, y'all enjoy this episode.
All righty. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hello. What's going on, Kat?
Not much.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm excited.
Yeah, we have a special guest on the show today.
We do. I'm very excited to talk to her. This is our first female guest.
I know. It's kind of crazy. Why is it taking so long?
Moving on up in the world. We have Miss Jenni on. You guys are familiar with her YouTube channel, and we will let her introduce herself.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Hi. Yeah, so like you said, I recently joined the YouTube Watch community. And I think I can just start by talking a little bit more about myself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Let's get to know you.
Okay, so I'm German. I think some could tell. I think someone pointed it out by the way I count to 3, because they got it from Inglourious Bastards, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's the 1, 2, 3 in a different way. And yeah, I got into watches about, I'd say, 1.5 years ago.
Oh wow, you haven't been in the hobby long then.
No, not really. I mean, watches have been around like my home for like forever, since I can remember. Because my dad used to go to like flea markets and buy these really cheap like Casio watches, and he would buy all sorts of like super cheap straps, and it was just mainly quartz watches. And whenever someone needed a watch, they would all go to my dad and he would just grab one from his box. But like actually getting into mechanical watches and stuff, that was about like 1.5 years ago, when Kai, with my husband, we started the YouTube channel Watchwise together. And yeah, I'm more in the background on this one. And then I think it was in December last year, or was it November, where I did my first video on that channel as a narrator in front of the camera, which was very exciting. And so I thought, why not start my own channel and get my voice out there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. So had your husband been into mechanical timepieces for quite some time?
Oh yeah, I think he was interested in it for quite some time, but I think it all really like started to get serious when he bought his first watch in, I think it was 2017, like not that long ago either, and then he kind of got me hooked again. So that's what we do all day. We just sit there and just do the videos and just talk about watches, basically.
That is relationship goals. There should be a dating app for people who are just into watches.
I think that would work. Because I like now
there'd be like 6 people worldwide on it, but whatever. Which is every other dating app, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, that's super cool. So you were a little bit familiar with watches from your dad, and then it was your husband who got you more into it.
Right. Yeah. Because like the watches, I still got some like super old watches from my dad, and I would never give them away or anything. But I have to say I moved on from those and started to get into more, I would say, more like sophisticated watches, perhaps. If that's the way to put it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes. What was that first watch for him that kind of really sparked his interest that you kind of grew from?
It was the like standard Oyster Perpetual from Rolex, the 39mm.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Then we kind of both went from there, and I think that's like the thing why I'm still very fond of Rolex, because that was kind of the first high-end mechanical watch that really got me into looking a bit deeper into that whole watch thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a nice
No,
watch.
that definitely makes sense. What was your first nice, like, what was yours?
That has to be my Datejust. That would, and I still got it. It's our wedding watch. I got him a watch and he got me a watch.
Oh, wow.
And we did exchange them on our wedding day. So
oh,
that was that was a nice one.
You guys are goals, man.
And yeah, that was like my first proper watch, I'd say.
That's a great, like, super versatile watch. It goes with everything.
Oh, definitely. And it's the 36
for sure
millimeter size. So I think it's big enough for me, I think, but not too big. So it's like on a sweet spot. I think 36 is for me like the best size, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great size.
Yeah, I would agree.
You guys share watches between each other?
Oh yeah, we do. Thankfully, when they've got like the glide locks from the Submariners are very nice to share, because we do kind of have similar sizes, and like for me they're a bit too big, but just not that much too big, so I can still wear it. So we do share watches quite a lot.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so because you would get to have it as that like chunky boyfriend
like the
watch,
boyfriend jeans,
where it's a little bit big on you. And yeah, exactly. No, that's super cool. So how has your hobby, like how have your interests changed since that very first Rolex? Like when you first started, were you into more of the traditional female watches where it was going to be like more gold and diamonds and things like that? Or have you always been more into like kind of a neutral unisex style watch?
I think, as you said, it was more like the neutral kind of watches, because I don't know. I think with women's watches, it can be very tricky. I think they're oftentimes very flashy, I'd say.
Right.
Like they got the like the diamonds and like very flashy pieces. So I was starting with the like more neutral pieces. Like I really did like the Oyster Perpetual. But then it kind of shifted towards more dressier watches. Like right now, I'm looking at the Globemaster, about some pieces there from Omega, which I really like. And I love the vintage tanks, like those pieces. Oh, they look amazing. But yeah, not so much these like typical women's watches. But it shifted from these like very standard, I would say, like divers and men's watches, which I really like, to more vintagey kind of watches. Well, I think that's probably the case for most people.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing about getting into this hobby is that, when I first started, there was watches that I really hated, and my perception has changed so much, and now I actually, I love these watches now, so it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. When you first start out and you look at them and it's like, ooh, but then you kind of get to know the watch a little bit more, which happened to me with the Monaco from Tag Heuer, the square one. At first, like when I looked at it, I really did not like it, even though I really like rectangular watches. But then when I got to hold it once, and it's like, oh, it's a nice piece. Still too big for me, but
yeah,
now I can like appreciate it much more.
And that's the thing. I feel like the longer you're in this hobby, the more you get to experience stuff, the more of an appreciation you have of some of those pieces that you initially would have never considered. And fortunately for you in your position and for us in our position, is we're able to try, we're very fortunate, and people send us stuff, and like, we're able to actually check things out and try them and really give them the chance that normally I would have never given them.
Definitely.
We have watches that come through that I would have never really looked at before, but once you see it and you have it on the wrist and just kind of mess around with it, you really can appreciate it. And at the end of the day, I feel like you can appreciate almost every watch for what's inside of it.
Definitely.
That's what I love about this hobby, is it's such a universal, like you can only reinvent the wheel so many times. At the end of the day, it's still a watch, and I have a lot of respect for brands who do something absolutely crazy to reinvent the wheel, even though aesthetically it's not my taste. I apparently like the round wheels. But
definitely.
No, for sure. That's super cool. What have been some of your favorite pieces that you've been able to mess around with, and whether you've owned it or you've just kind of played with it a little bit or checked it out in a store?
There was one piece in particular that I really like, that stuck with me. I got to hold it once. It's the Vanta Black from Moser.
Oh, man.
Oh, that watch is just, it's like staring into an abyss. It's so great. That was like getting goosebumps just thinking about it. That was so cool. I got to hold it once. And basically any Lange watch, they're just to die for. I really love them. These are like I would say like right now also my favorite brands at the moment. I think they do amazing work. So clean, so classic. And Moser really, I think they're really like daring with their designs and what they do. And I really like that. So those were the first two I could think of. Yeah, the Vanta Black is just on another level.
I know. I've not seen it yet, and I've been because we don't have anybody who's a Moser AD here in Nashville, so I'm just ready to do some traveling again so that I can go to bigger cities and get to a Moser boutique or a Moser AD.
Oh yeah, they're stunning. And I think we got to visit them a couple of weeks ago
Oh,
from
really?
our German channel. Yeah, and such a nice team. And they also they're very fun people. They're not take it too seriously,
I
just
mean,
like serious enough.
yeah, if you look at their watches and some of the crazy stuff they come out with, they can't be super serious.
Mhm.
And their advertising, I've always kind of loved Moser for that. Like they're just the more fun guys in the industry. They're doing phenomenal things too,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
they also don't take themselves as serious as a lot of like the more prestigious Swiss brands. Who
Yeah,
just kind of
it,
don't have a sense of humor almost. So
yeah, it's refreshing. I think
I
that's what I really
agree.
like about them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So you still do work on the German channel then?
Yeah, it's basically full time actually what I do. But yeah, most of the stuff is like the background stuff that I do, like the filming, the editing. I'm doing the writing on a lot of videos. Um, I think that's what confused a lot of people when they saw a video that we did in German on my channel, because I would love to just take some videos that we already did in German and just bring them to an international audience, because I think that would be cool to show what we did, because people liked it, and just get it out to more people in English.
Now, is it just you and your husband that run the German channel?
Mainly, yeah, but we do have some people co-writing with us and just supporting us content-wise, which is great. Great team.
Now, you have about 4 videos right now on your channel. Did you think that you were going to grow so fast?
No, that was it. Like it happened, I think, within a day or two, because I did upload my Alange und Söhne Odysseus video, and yeah, a couple of days went by, and we were like, oh yeah, it's like doing okay. And then Adrian did a shout out on his Instagram from Bark and Jack, which I got starstruck, to be honest, because he's been talking to Kai, my husband, for quite some time now on Instagram, I think. And then he did the shout out and was like, oh no, he knows my name. This is so cool. And because I have been watching him for quite some time now. And then I think that got me the first initial push. And then the YouTube algorithm, I think, worked its magic and spread it out. It's still crazy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Yeah, I remember texting Catlin and being like, in the morning you had 7,000 followers, and then by the afternoon you had so many more thousands more. It was just growing like crazy.
That was, yeah. I think it was that one week where we were in front of the computer, Kai and a friend of mine, and we were watching it jump from like 900 to the 1,000. We were like, oh my god, this is insane! And then, oh yeah, I mean, wow. Which I'm super happy and thankful for.
Well, yeah, you should be. I mean, there's not many YouTubers
Thank
with
you.
that kind of quality out there right now, and you
Phenomenal
are
for
definitely
sure.
one of them.
Thank you. We do really try to focus on, because like that's what we did before we started to do YouTube together. Because I'm a web designer and he's a web designer as well, and we did also do a lot of filming projects and stuff. And so we do come from like filming. We always try to top our video that went before and then do some better edits and stuff.
Well, and it shows in your videos. And I think that's one thing that was very surprising was to see somebody who came out of the gate with phenomenal quality. And I have to say, I it's very endearing to me to hear you say how excited you were about like the little things that, the shout out from Adrian and watching your numbers grow. Cause I could say it's such an exciting thing in this, when you're doing stuff like this, it's so exciting to see that, not that you need to be justified in what you're doing, but it's so great to know that people support you and people are actually listening to what you're doing and watching what you're doing.
Exactly, that people actually listen. Because I was honestly a bit not worried, but I wasn't sure if people would even want to listen or watch the videos, because we did have a lot of, not discussions, but we were talking about it together and was like, oh, are you sure, is this a good idea? And I wanted to try it, and it was like, just give it a shot, and if no one cares, then no one cares. That's okay too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing to see, and also all the positive feedback. I'm really happy about that, because I was worried that I would get a little bit more of the people saying that women should not talk watches.
No, we agree with that. It's because it was the same conversations we had was like, well, if 5 people listen, that would be really cool. And every week we get our reports and we're texting each other like every Monday night, like, oh my gosh, it's insane how much it grows. And it's one of the things, and even friends of mine in the industry, warned us about it too, is you're probably going to get a lot of negative feedback because you're women doing this. And it's been so surprising to me how accepting this hobby and this industry has been of more female voices. And I hope it continues to encourage more females to kind of, step out and do something different in the hobby for sure.
Oh, that would be great.
I know. We were so excited when we saw your channel, and everybody, I can't tell you the number of DMs we got from everybody. Have you seen this? It was so great. So definitely the community has really accepted you and your channel and all that.
Crazy.
Going forward, what kind of plans do you have for the channel?
So I hopefully just keep on making the videos that I want to make. I want to kind of mix doing like watch reviews, talk about watches that I find interesting or that I like, and also bring, like I said, the German content to that channel. That would be cool. Just, I think my main drive would be like helping out new people, if that makes sense. Like when you're new to the watch world, and I kind of felt that whenever someone comes on and just says something that might not be like 100% correct, or when you just don't know stuff, and sometimes people can be very they take it very seriously, and you start to kind of get the feeling that you don't want to offend anyone with not knowing certain things about a watch, and just want to make it just accessible to everyone, make it fun, like you said, lighthearted and a fun experience to talk about watches. It shouldn't be about who knows more and that kind of stuff, but just talk about the things you like.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff that we've said on our channel that was not true. And we get all of the DMs, if the lug width was wrong, or the case I was wrong, and that's fine, that's okay. But our goal is to get on here and just chit chat, have fun, give our opinions on watches. We're not reading from a book. We're not even reading from the internet half the time. So, and try to bring more people into the hobby.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I think that's intimidating for everyone, but like if that's such a male-dominated space, maybe perhaps women might be even more scared to say something. I don't know.
No, I agree. It's a very intimidating space for anybody to get into. I think watches have this idea that, watch people are kind of snobbish. Like when you think about a watch meetup, you think, oh, it's just a bunch of, rich people, sipping on expensive whiskey and scotch, smoking cigars, looking at all these expensive watches. And I've never been to a watch meetup like that. Everybody's just so great in this hobby. But if you're not in this hobby, that's the perception that you have of it. So be able to like get on YouTube, because I know for a lot of people, their first experiences in this hobby start on looking up YouTube channels and looking at YouTube videos. So having like different voices who are so easy to talk to, like when we watch your videos, you're so easy and natural, and you really kind of keep people where they don't have to feel like they're on guard all the time, which I really enjoy. But yeah, it makes it where people feel like they can trust you, and that, it kind of lets them, even though you've talked about some really expensive pieces, it doesn't seem pretentious, I guess, is more the word that I would use, which I think is phenomenal. And then the fact that you're the only female voice really doing it is really even better.
Yeah, we hopefully more will follow. I would love to see more. And you guys join YouTube with your podcast, right?
Yeah, we just throw our podcast on YouTube every now and then. You do all the video editing, and I cannot imagine how much work that is, because I know Kat works her butt off on our audio recording and editing, and like we also have regular full-time jobs too. So people suggest, oh, do YouTube, do video, but I mean,
that's such a workload.
Couldn't imagine.
It's I mean, we got a lot better in terms of time management and just being quicker to edit videos, but I think it does take a lot of time, but it's fun also. I think if you like editing and stuff, videos are just it's the fun part. It's maybe not the funnest part of it, but it's definitely a cool. I would not change it.
Well, that's good. I know that neither of us know anything about video editing. Before this podcast, neither of us knew anything about website or audio editing either. So it's been fun kind of self-teaching ourselves. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day we have the channel, it's there, and maybe one day there'll be a video or two on there. But yeah, we need an unpaid intern. That's what we keep saying.
Those are the best.
Do you have a lot of those? Can you send one over?
Oh, unfortunately, I would have to send myself then.
I mean, we'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Just heading over to Nashville.
Just all the females taken over in one city.
But that would be great, though. Like an all-female
It would be.
team. I would love that.
Yes. It would be amazing.
There we go. Yeah.
We could just build our own empire.
And create new women's watches. That would be so cool.
That aren't 20 millimeters covered in diamonds and solid gold. That would be amazing.
Oh, I know. It's like when you sit down anywhere and like at an AD and they're trying to bring out the women's watches and you're like, oh, no thanks.
You're like, no, I don't want to see any of those. You can put all of those away. Oh man, it's frustrating, but it is the world, I guess.
But I think
things will change.
That's what I was about to say. I think they might, I don't know, rethink the whole women's watches.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Well, I think some brands are doing it right. One of them is Rolex, in my opinion. You know, you can look at the Oyster Perpetual or the Datejust, and they have the same watch in different sizes. And this is what people want. They want the same watch, just more offerings of that watch and variations of that. You know, over the weekend, Grand Seiko released several new models, and one of them was a women's model, and it's covered in diamonds. It's 28 millimeters, and it's like god awful.
Fancy. Oh no, but I like that's what I'm excited for with Tudor this year. Like I hope that they would like do something with the Black Bay 58. That would be cool.
Yeah,
they would add some more colors. Because I think they would not just like keep it black. I think they would add something to it. Hopefully.
I'm crossing my fingers big time for that one.
Ooh, that would be great. Because
Kat is on top of this green thing. You have no idea. Every day she's texting me about a green watch.
A green looks great.
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with it. So obsessed with green.
So funny.
And then Jenny, what is the watch scene like in Germany?
I think it's a growing watch community here. We do have a few people talk about watches, and I feel like the watch community here is very focused on. Don't kill me for that, German listeners, if I say something wrong. I'd say it's very tool watch focused.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they love a lot of Sinn and Seikos, Tag Heuer, Omega, sorry. And it's getting bigger, I feel. I'd say the one of the biggest watch YouTubers in Germany, it's like 30,000 subscribers. So it's not comparable to the international audience. But it's growing and it's really cool.
And are you a part of any watch clubs?
No, not really actually. It's not really a thing here, I'd say. There's a couple of Facebook groups, but I haven't been to. There probably are some meetups happening, which I wasn't invited to. I don't know.
Your inbox is full of meetup requests, and you just never chat them.
Oh, I'm by the way so bad at doing Instagram. If I'm sorry to anyone who sends me a message on Insta. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, you're new to Instagram, right? Like you just started your Instagram in the last couple.
Just a couple of, I don't know, a week or two ago. I did use Instagram for like private use. Well, I would post like a dog picture every 2 months or so.
The dogs are still here.
But just FYI, because I feel super bad like looking at it. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Instagram is tough.
It is so overwhelming. Everything, balancing like your personal Instagram and like your for you, your YouTube, or for us, the podcast Instagram, it's impossible. And there's 2 of us who do it. So I couldn't imagine.
We still miss so much.
We still miss so much. I can't imagine if there was just one of us doing it. It would be, oh my gosh.
A crazy world. But yeah, I think
it really
there's
is.
A lot of like, not a lot, like some meetups happening, but like I said, I haven't been. I would love to go and just chat, even though I'm a bit intimidated, to be honest, to like show up there, because I always feel like I don't know how about you, but I feel like everyone else knows so much more. Do you know that feeling?
Yes.
When it seems like everyone knows so much.
Yeah, I think I used to feel the same way, and I finally just went, and the experience could not have been better. That fear immediately went away. I quickly found out that not everybody is an expert on watches, and people just wanted a place that they could come out, hang out with people, and just sit around and talk about watches and have a few drinks. But I guess that may not be the same everywhere, though.
Is it like an active?
Yeah, everybody.
Like you meet up regularly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do. So we have like one big meetup every quarter, and then we do like little smaller meetups, and then like a bunch of us will just randomly start DMing or texting each other just to meet for coffee every now and then, or grab a drink or something like that. And it's nice just because a lot of times this can be a very lonely hobby, you know, and well, for you have your husband. For me, I have Kat. Bless Kat's husband for putting up with the both of us. But most of the time, most people don't have that. And so that's the thing that I love about the meetups and things like that, is you have a place just to kind of like nerd out, and it's okay. Nobody's going to judge you for taking a billion watch pictures or anything like that. So it's nice, especially for people who don't have somebody else that they can just kind of talk to.
True. Oh yeah, that I mean, yeah, I'm that's like on my bucket list for this year. Just go to a meetup.
Yeah.
Find a meetup first and then go to it.
Find a meetup. Somebody reach out to Jenni,
please.
maybe not in her DMs because she doesn't check them. But
just find a tag.
Maybe in your YouTube comments, like somebody send her the information for like a local Red Bar.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, YouTube comments would work. I read those.
There you go. You read those. That's how you get a hold of Jenni, y'all.
Well, yeah, the reason I ask is because we both like the German brands such as Zen, Stova, and Nomos, as well as Young Hens. And I was also curious if you've had a chance to visit any of the factories, the German-made factories there.
Just Lange. That was the one.
Yeah.
And that was oof.
Just like the really big one.
No, that was amazing. That day was just crazy. And by the way, the watchmakers there, super young and very good looking. I was surprised. Like,
all right, so, Kat, why are we going to Scotland? Let's go to Germany
that
instead
was so
of Scotland.
Surprising because it's. I don't want to sound mean, but like you'd think of a watchmaker who, you know, like maybe like an elderly kind of man. I don't know. But these people were so good looking, very young, so friendly, very open. And we did a tour and looked at the different steps within building the watches, and that was crazy interesting. But yeah, not that was it for now.
Wow.
Oh, that would be so cool. I mean, that's the thing about being here in the States is we have a few brands here in the States, but so much is overseas. And I would love to just be able to take like 2 or 3 weeks and travel everywhere and be able to do all of these factory tours and everything else. It would just be phenomenal. And it's cool to see brands kind of open up to people and allow stuff like that, you know, especially a brand like Lange, who is, I mean, just phenomenal. Like, there's nobody who does movements quite like Lange does. I've been fortunate enough we don't have any dealers here in Nashville, but I have seen quite a few come through. And I have a friend who has a couple, so I've been fortunate enough to see them and like really be able to enjoy. But yeah, man, that would be so cool.
Organize some kind of, like, some companies should start like a watch tour where people just join and they like take you through Switzerland and Germany and stuff. That would be great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so here's the thing. We are now going to develop a watch dating app, and like a watch travel app. So we'll be like your travel guide.
But you can
We'll
mix the
set
both
you
of
up with your
them,
hotels, your flights, all of that. Oh, that's how you can meet up because
right?
everybody would be on opposite sides of the world. We've got this. We're copywriting it, y'all. Don't take our idea.
That would be great.
But no, I agree because like for us, if we didn't have friends, you know, we talked to the guys at Scottish Watches and Adrian with Bark and Jack all the time. And if we didn't have people like that, we wouldn't know what to do if we wanted to just come over and travel and go see things and do things and, you know, and do watch kind of things. So I think that's actually a pretty great idea.
To offer, yeah, noted.
Working on it. We'll discuss this more later.
Definitely.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. So what challenges do you have like with the YouTube channel? Because I would imagine obviously time. You say you're good at time management. That's something that Kat and I have still not figured out yet is time management. But so like what do you find some of the biggest challenges are with the YouTube channel?
I'd say it's like you try to get out the perfect video and you always think you could have done better. I think that's the biggest challenge to me.
Oh yeah.
Because like you upload it and then it's out and you're like, maybe I could have done that shot different. I think that's the biggest challenge for me.
That drive to be perfect.
Yeah, because like the watches are so perfect. I don't know, maybe because of that. Because they look stunning and they're so perfect and you want to do them justice and then you want to get it perfect. But I mean, it's like a kind of an 80-20 thing. And you move on and you just try to do better next time. So yeah.
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 So I don't know. I mean, I've only got out full videos, but like I want to like get out a video every Sunday. That would be great. And just staying on schedule and
no, I totally get that.
Like keep on making good videos, not just because it's Sunday. Because that's from
like just the consistency and quality.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to. Yeah. Because that's from the German channel where we always want to make sure that what we do is like a good idea, not just another video. I think that's basically for everyone who does content. Like you said with the podcast, you want to make sure that it's good and not just another episode or something.
Yeah, that's why we cut down from doing 2 episodes a week to 1 because we were, kind of scrounging around for content for 2 episodes, and it wasn't really fair to give our audience 2 mediocre episodes when they can have 1 better episode. Yeah. So that's why we did that as well.
My quality of life appreciates it too.
Oh yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Not gonna lie. No, that's so you do all of the photography and the video for your stuff, correct?
Pretty much.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you have I know you have a film editing background, like how did you get into like the photography aspect of it?
That was like I got super lucky because Kai is really like if he wouldn't talk about watches, he would talk about cameras. So there was a lot of learning going on from him. I did learn a lot of stuff from him, which was cool, and also like YouTube tutorials.
Thank God for those.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, we did work on filming stuff for clients before we started the whole YouTube thing, which was just our main business besides doing the web design, and then develop the skills from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, watches are not easy to photograph, and
some are really tough.
Oh
like
my
the one
gosh.
with the dome glasses, the dome crystals.
Annie Hamilton that refuses to have anti-reflective coating.
Oh no. Oh
no, it's not easy, but I find it the more because I just really started getting into more the photography side, and I think Kat can agree too. It's like the more you get into it, the better you want to be at it. So you like I'm surprised at how long like I'll start to take photos and then like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, maybe I should quit taking photos at some point today.
But yeah, once you like really start to like get into it and like start with one watch and you kind of find the right angles and positions and you can't stop because like every time you like turn it a little bit and it's a nice perspective and then
I know it's so different. Oh man, it's so different. I can't believe it. And it's so different than taking any kind of regular photos too. I don't even take regular photos anymore. I was looking through, even like when I go on vacation and all I have is my cell phone with me, I'm looking through my gallery of like some vacation photos and I'm like, oh, here's 8,000 watch photos and like 2 photos of my kid. So maybe I need to like reassess my priorities a little.
But it's like, do you know that moment when you are somewhere and then you look down on your wrist and you're like, ooh, that's a nice like spot, and like the light hits it perfectly and you're just trying to stay in that position to grab your phone and just like take a picture.
The struggle.
Oh, there's so many times where I've like embarrassed my husband totally just out there taking wrist shots.
It's fine. I can't wait for him to come to Scotland and there's the 2 of us.
When are you going to Scotland?
We like August, September is what our plan is. So yeah, we're very excited. We're gonna spend a couple of days in London, and then Scotland, and maybe a day or 2 in Switzerland. So yeah, try and squeeze as much in as possible.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. Scotland is beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. The weather I think is our concern.
Yeah.
Is it warm enough?
It is. It's 60. So it's February 2nd and it's supposed to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit today and sunny.
Google what that would be.
I know. I was about to do it for you. I need to be better at my degrees. Yeah, I need to get better at my conversions. Yeah, so 15 degrees. But yeah, it's weird. Weather here is weird. But during summer it gets up to like mid-90s. So for us in August and September, we're used to mid-90s, which I think is mid-30s for you.
Wow.
And it's not that way in Scotland from what I understand. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll be freezing, but it'll be fine.
When you say like with the conversion, do you guys, when you like look up watch specs and stuff, they do that in millimeters in the US as well, right?
Oh yes,
yes. That's the only thing that converts correctly to the US is we still use millimeters. So everything else is messed up, but we still use millimeters. Thank goodness, because conversions is not if it wasn't for the internet, I would never make it.
Oh no. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I know, Jenny. I think you messaged me last week asking.
That was a struggle. Yes. That was such a struggle figuring it, because I like, believe it or not, you can't access the US site from here for whatever reason. Like it wouldn't let me go to the Tudor US site, and I was trying to get the price and I couldn't, and I was trying to use a VPN, but that didn't work either.
Oh man.
So. Oh,
these are the struggles.
Yeah, because I was trying to, because I think in my Odysseus video I was in the other videos too, I was stating the German price with the German tax on it, and I think that confused a lot of people. And so for my next video I was trying to get because I think most of my viewers are from the US, and so I was trying to look up US dollar prices, which turned out to be quite the challenge.
Oh, I bet.
No, but that's fine. So now I'm doing both dollars and euros, kind of get the best of both worlds. And
we don't even bother. We just give everybody the US price.
I think that would be the best for most people. That's like the biggest reference in terms of prices, the US price.
Yeah. Well, Jenny, are you excited about Baselworld this year? I know you made a predictions video. Is there anything specifically that you are hoping for?
Actually, like I have to say, to be honest, Baselworld is interesting to me just for the Rolex and the Tudor ones. I don't know if that sounds bad, but I think those are the most exciting ones, because with
no, that's what you're most excited about. So
with the Rolex, with every year, so nerve-wracking to wait until they do the watches on the website. I do remember last year when Kai and I were sitting in front of the computer and we were just like looking at the times, like it's about to happen, and like you click on up like the reload of the page, and then oof, that was exciting. So I'm really looking forward to see what they will bring out this year. And like with the predictions, you never get it right, but it's fun to think about.
It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to speculate and just see, because at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
So, but definitely fun to speculate. And that video was so cool and absolutely phenomenally well done.
Yeah, that was a project, but yeah, we had so much fun doing it. That was so cool. And yeah, just to see the whole thing come together and see like a steel Smurf, that would, oof, that was so cool. That would be my absolute favorite of the three. Getting the full blue, non-white gold version of it.
Ooh, a stainless steel, yeah.
So good, so great.
The problem was that you would never be able to get it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That wait list, that would be take me for. It's like the Patek ones, probably.
It's fine. Maybe one day. It's fine. One day.
Well, no, it's like last year where, Rolex was teasing the Milgauss, and they didn't end up doing that. And then Tudor, was teasing the Snowflake sub, and then they ended up coming up with the P01 instead.
It was the P01, y'all.
Whoop, whoop. I think some people call it the Hunchback or something.
Oh, really?
I've never heard that.
I don't know if
hilarious.
That was a German thing, but people started to refer to it as the Hunchback, and it's like, oof.
That's so funny. I feel bad for them because I feel like if they hadn't had teased what they did, then it would have been more well received. But because you get all of our hopes up and then you just throw this other thing at us, we're like, well, but wait, where's this? Like, what's going on?
But like, I'm a big fan of nicknames anyways for watches, so that's the other part I'm excited.
Well, yeah, because who can remember reference numbers?
Oh, yeah, I'm so bad at those. Like as soon as people start like talking in reference numbers, I'm like, with my phone out and Googling it. What?
I know. People will ask if I post a picture of a watch on Instagram what the reference number is. They're my watches. I don't know. I have to Google that. I should have like a document in my phone, like a note that has all my reference numbers just so I have them available. But I'm always Googling them. Oh, man. So terrible.
Well, to be fair, Caitlin, you do have several Omegas and they're like extremely
That's a long number.
You do have the Speedmaster, right? I think.
I do. I have an older Speedmaster moon phase where it has the moon phase at the 12 o'clock instead of like the new ones that have it at the 6 o'clock. Yeah. And that's an older watch, so it does have a short reference number. Don't ask me what it is.
Like the Omega reference numbers are super long anyways, right? I think
yeah, well, this one, that's what I'm actually wearing today. I think it's like a 7 or 8 digit number, but the new ones are like 14 or 16 digits. I can't. Well, but to be fair, there's so many references. It's it would be hard to not have long numbers.
Maybe that's the thing. They run out of numbers.
All the watches.
All the watches. They take it very seriously. Every single variation possible of watches. So with Tudor, what are you really hoping for from Tudor this year? Out of curiosity.
It's difficult. Well, I would, like I said, I would love to see a bit more of the Black Bay 58 to be just to get a bigger variety on that one, because with that movement, it's the what is it? The MT5402, I think. I think that's the Black Bay 58 is the only one that is using it. So I would hope to see more 39 millimeter watches from Tudor. That would be cool. Just like in that size.
Yeah, 39 is a really sweet size. For a lot of risks. And that's my argument with a lot of like the idea of women's watches is I don't think you have to call them women's watches, but there's so many men who want that 39 and even down to a 36 millimeter case size. And it would be nice to see more brands kind of embrace that idea.
I've heard from some men that like the bigger watches, like it really bothers them in the wintertime when they're trying to wear coats and like stuff, because like you can't really put it underneath your coat and then they get cold. So like me too.
It seems like it would be cold in Germany.
It can get very cold in here, but I do live in the south, so it's not that bad.
Now I know that the watch trend here in the U.S. Is still a little bit biased towards like larger watches, 45, 47 millimeters. Is the watch trend in Germany the same, or do you see that a lot of watches are on the bigger end, on a bigger scale?
Oh no, I would say it's probably the same here. It was like a lot of Breitling. I'm trying to how do I say that? Breitling.
Sounds right.
Because I want to say Breitling, but I don't want to sound too bad.
I like it.
It's fine. Wait, so here's the thing that you do is if you mess up the pronunciation of a watch, all you have to do, like, at the end, what we find is you just have to say, "We're sorry, y'all," and, like, some really cute, like, Southern accent, and nobody cares.
Well,
It's
it's very
fine.
charming, you say it.
I think we get away with a little bit more maybe than some. This is the one time that a double standard comes to our favor, is we probably get away with a little more than a male channel would as far as, like, mispronunciation and stuff like that.
So yeah, with the bigger watches, definitely. I see a lot of like Breitlings and Tag Heuer, and like overall very, very big watches
Yeah.
that people seem to love. I don't know, but I think the trend might be going towards more smaller sizes. I would hope to. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And like for me especially.
Well, yeah, exactly. Especially, I mean, it makes sense though that you would see a lot of larger sizes if the market
Mm.
is more tool watches there. But yeah, it would be nice to see just more. I don't know. I used to really be obsessed with like 42 millimeter case
Ooh.
sizes, and my two favorite watches are 42 millimeter. 'Cause I like that boyfriend look. Like I wear my watches on the bracelet a little loose, not too loose, but I don't know. I just think it's fun. But like last year, I didn't buy anything that was over 40 millimeters. So I feel like that's a sweet spot. Like 38 to
Oh yeah.
40 is a great unisex spot too. Because it doesn't have to be marketed as a man's watch or a women's watch. I think like at that size, you shouldn't put a label on it. Because that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
frustrating things as a woman. If you get on a brand's website and you click women's watches, it won't show you anything over like a 28 or a 30
Yeah,
millimeter
like
case
super small
size.
pieces.
But versus you could have like a 36 millimeter or 38 and it would definitely
And then you
work.
get a lot of
But
like, I don't want to hate on quartz movements because I think they can be very great. But you get a lot of, and I think
yeah.
that's the thing with women in watches, that you as a woman you like go to a website like you said, and then you see all these like teeny tiny watches with quartz movements, and then you're like, nah, not gonna spend that much money on that kind of watch. I think it would help to
Mhm.
get more women into watches by just offering maybe little smaller mechanical watches to women, and not just market them as like men's watches.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and even men for like I know, for example, the Speedmaster, the
Mm.
38 millimeter Speedmasters are marketed as a women's
What?
watch, but I see a lot of men who have interest in it. But the reality is men are going to be very hesitant to buy, what's
Mm.
marketed as a
Yeah.
women's watch. That's just kind of the world we live in, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I wouldn't want, I could see it as a man, I wouldn't want somebody saying, "Hey, you're wearing a woman's watch," you know?
Yeah, like that's a
Um,
girly.
yeah, exactly. And they're not even that they're girly, they're just marketed as women's watches. So,
Mm.
I think you have to take away that, like, mindset of this is what a man's watch looks like, this is what a woman's watch looks like. Like, I know men who want, like, the diamond bezels and gold
Yeah.
and flashiness, and I want, like, just a tool watch, like, just a stainless steel, like, beater, like, really cool
Mhm.
watch. So yeah, it's an interesting industry, but I feel like you're seeing more brands kinda embrace that idea of a unisex style and unisex in marketing. Like
Mhm.
IWC has done it recently. I feel like Zenith just absolutely killed, to Watch Week a couple weeks ago, when we're recording this, a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago, did a phenomenal job with their new ladies line. So I'm excited to see what happens this year in the world of women's watches.
Oh yeah. Maybe
I think
they start listening.
yeah, exactly. Well, you have more female voices now, and it's not. I understand making a lot of quartz watches because that's what you sell for a lot of women, who aren't
Mhm.
really into this hobby like we are. But for us who are really into it, that's not what we want. And I think that you have brands who are now like listening to that idea that well, we need to take care of the enthusiast female voice too,
Mhm.
not just women in general. So.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Exactly.
So Jenny, do you find that women in Germany are wearing watches or smartwatches? I know the trend here in the US is that a lot of women are wearing the Apple watches for the most part that are around our age.
Yeah, even though I see, but I think that's like has to do with the whole Instagram thing. A lot of Daniel Wellington on women here in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of like those kind of watches. A couple of Citizens as well. But yeah, mainly just very like smartwatches, standard pieces. like more of the fashion jewelry kind of watches, which is, I mean, that is fine. I do like that people are still wearing watches on their wrists that are not like an Apple Watch, which is cool too.
Exactly.
But
At the end of the day, like none of us need watches. We
no.
can tell the time. I mean, we have cell phones and everything else, so it's very unnecessary. So at the end of the day, it is cool to see people still wearing them in general.
Yeah, that's why I think it's I mean, you can think about micro brands what you want. I mean, it's I think like a highly debated thing with micro brands, but I like that they kind of reintroduced watches to younger people, make it more affordable, and just also with the Daniel Wellington thing. I mean, not everyone likes it, and that's fine. But if that gets more people into like wearing watches and maybe getting more interested in it, then that's cool.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that for sure.
And I mean, who knows what the future holds? Maybe they will take a look at what they do with Daniel Wellington law and maybe rethink the whole watch thing with like the bigger brands and trying to get out more unisex timepieces. That would be cool.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes people hate on Daniel Wellington and Michael Kors, but at the same time, they're making minimalist watches that a guy or a girl could wear, and that's what sells. And people don't want to spend a lot of money. And little do they know that with $200, instead of spending money on a Daniel Wellington or Michael Kors, they can get an automatic Seiko. And I think videos like yours kind of help, and other YouTubers, of course, they really help educate the general population, and you know, hopefully sparks interest in watches, but also realizes that you can get a lot more for your money.
Yeah, exactly. That would be great. I mean, I would love to see more people starting with like a lower tier watch and then just getting into it step by step, which would be cool.
For sure. What are your what would be your grail watch, out of curiosity?
Ooh, I would probably get some hate for this because like whenever I say that, it's like either yay or oh my god. But my absolute grail watch would be the Rainbow Daytona. I would love that. It is so crazy. It is just so intense. It makes no sense to fully ice out a Daytona in a rainbow kind of color, but oh my god, I would love it. That would be my all-time gray watch.
That's amazing. I love that. I feel like that says a lot about your personality too. Like you wouldn't go for just like something traditional and you know, safe. Like you just want to go out there and something insane and fun and I mean, arguably very controversial. I have no problem with that. I think it's a phenomenal watch. I'd wear the hell out of it.
Right? I mean, life's too short.
Exactly. People take this all so seriously. Like, I just want to have fun.
Exactly. And then just pairing a Daytona with it, really silly looking watch, but love it just because of that, because it's just so outstanding.
It is outstanding. It's beautiful.
And I think it's really interesting to see Rolex doing such a watch.
Yeah.
Because like, to be honest, I would never like have them do a rainbow bezel. Like, what the hell? Rolex. So cool.
Right. And that, like, every now and then you see the really traditional brands do something crazy, and it just kind of like it gives you hope that all right, somebody's in charge who knows what's up and who's not taking this all too seriously.
No. Do you have gray watches?
Man, I am kind of obsessed with the Jacob & Co. What is it? The Astronomia? I can't even pronounce it. Astronomy.
I know.
You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also the Midnight Planetarium from oh man, I should know this.
Is it from Jacob & Co?
No, it's not from Jacob & Co. It's from Van Cleef. So they do the Midnight Planetarium, which has like a whole solar system on the dial, and like the gemstones all rotate according to like how the solar system operates. So like however long it takes for each planet to operate, like to do a full rotation around the sun. It's just such a cool watch, and one of those things that you can just look at and just fall in love with and be mesmerized with. I have very cheap taste when it comes to my grail watches. Very cheap taste. I tried on the I tried on the Jacob & Co. Recently when I was in Las Vegas, and I was like, I have a watch that's as expensive as my house sitting on my wrist right now.
Yeah, like trying to make sense of it when you look at a watch and the price.
Oh, but then you hold it. There's no money justifies it. This is a hobby without justification. So
yeah, I think that's the great part of it.
yeah.
How it can get so crazy, but I love it.
What about Kat? What's yours?
Right now, I think it'll probably be the Omega 50th anniversary Moonwatch. The
Oh
Omega
yeah,
Speedmaster,
the
all
moonshine
gold,
one,
Ooh.
right?
Gold.
The all gold one.
Love it.
Ooh. I think those are very like romantic versions of the Speedmaster.
I like how you said that.
Oh, and I love the red bezel on it too. Yeah.
I know. I need somebody in Nashville to get it so we can see it.
That's the best part, like trying to figure out who
has it that we can play with it. That's the best part about the watch clubs is you get to play with other people's watches and you're not dedicated to owning them yourself.
It's like, yeah, you could get it back.
Well, I guess as we begin to close out the show, one thing we should do, because we forgot it once again, is a wristwatch check. So what are you guys wearing today? And Jenny, we can start with you.
Okay, so today I'm wearing it's a Soviet watch. It's a Raketa. It's
cool.
And it's again, this very weird. I'm gonna post a picture later on Instagram. It's a very weird case shape. It's like a very old looking Oyster Perpetual kind of shape. It's rose gold, and I'm wearing it on a very, very cheap brown faux leather strap. And I don't know the reference number because I have no idea about those.
We don't either. It's fine.
But it's so nice. I got it from my grandpa on Christmas this year.
Aww.
It's a hand wound mechanical watch. It's very cool. It looks super rough because he kept it in a plastic bag. He just like pulled it out of a plastic bag and he was like, "Hey Jenny, I heard you do a lot with watches and you can have mine." And I was like, "Oh my god!" And then he showed it to me and I was blown away.
That is so awesome.
That's what I'm wearing today.
Awesome.
Catlin, what are you wearing today?
I am wearing the Speedmaster today on a black leather NATO strap. So keeping it simple today. Nothing too overly done. What about you, Kat?
I'm actually wearing my Speedmaster as well today. The racing
cool
edition.
Kid Club.
Speedy Sunday.
Yeah, it's a cool one, and I like the size of it. That 40 millimeter size. Yeah, exactly. It's a great size. What else do you have? Without going into too much detail about your collection, what are some of your everyday pieces out of your collection?
I'd say
like your go-tos.
The Datejust would be my go-to. The Datejust or the Casio I posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
I like it. It depends on what I'm doing that day. If I do a bit of archery, and if I go to like shoot, I'm just taking the Casio.
I feel like you just get more and more cool the more we talk to you.
Because like I'm so afraid of just trashing my Datejust because I hold the bow with my left hand and I'm wearing my watches on my left hand.
Right.
I'm not sure if that because I think you shouldn't be like doing those like shock kind of like those impact sports. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Because it would like affect the movement. So yeah, I switch between those, and then because it's a Sunday, I'm wearing my rose gold Soviet kind of watch.
Fancy on Sundays.
Yeah, like one day a week.
It's fine. You're doing better than I am. Fancy like once every 3 months. Oh man. No, this has been a lot of fun. We appreciate so much having you on as our first female guest. This has meant a lot to us. We were so excited once you started your channel. And thank you for responding to us and getting in touch with us. And agreeing to do this podcast. I feel like we've learned a lot about you, and I hope our listeners have too. And some of your, I know a lot of our listeners are fans of your YouTube channel. So, and it's cool because I feel like with a lot of people, like you get to know them, just through their channel, but you don't know kind of the history of where it started. So that's what I love about opportunities like this to really kind of get to know who you are as a person. And like in my experience, it makes me really appreciate your content. And, you know, when we interview watch people, like watch brands, it makes me appreciate their brands even more because like I know how you got here, and I feel like I have more of a personal relationship with you now. So thank you.
And thank you so much for having me. I was so excited when I saw your message. I was telling Kyle, like, oh my God, you won't believe this.
That's how we feel.
No, I was so excited, and that was so much fun. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. And then just for anybody who doesn't know where they can find you online, your YouTube, if you want to talk about your YouTube channel and your Instagram, and if you have a website, whatever.
Yeah, you can find me on Jenni Elle on YouTube, and on, I think it's Jenni_Elle_ because the other one was taken, on Instagram.
The worst. I hate when that happens.
So yeah, if you want to see what I do with watches, then yeah, click on YouTube and find me, and then you'll see. And I hope you like it.
All right.
Yay. And we'll link everything in our show notes so you guys can make sure you head over to our website, www.10and2.com, and that'll have all of the links to Jenni's YouTube and her Instagram. And then just make sure you're following us over on Instagram and Facebooks and YouTube, because we kind of have something there. Every now and then there might be content other than audio, but we'll see. But thank you again, Jenni, and this has been so much fun.
Absolutely. Oh, we can't wait to see how your channel grows in the future.
For sure. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And we're so happy to see another female voice who's out there and doing it right, you know, putting out amazing quality and content. So
yeah.
Thank
you. All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.